We're here today to talk about layered targets, and Gabe, you're a little more target knowledgeable than I am. We got two different types of targets. They're both layered, but can you tell me a little bit about how they're different?
Yeah, so basically when you look at these targets, they're both a layered target concept, but what differentiates these is the style and how they basically put the target together. So this is an open-faced layered target that we're looking at here. So you can see as you run your thumb or your fingers down the front face, you can constantly see the layers separating on that target.
Yeah, you could actually put your finger right in there.
Correct.
Between the layers, right?
Correct.
Okay, now how is the Delta target a little different than that?
So basically what we have at Delta is a patented welded technology that we use to put together our layered targets. What that does is it allows us to take individual layers of foam, similar to this, put it on a machine and actually both interiorly and exteriorly weld the target together. So as you see, I can't separate any of these layers with my finger.
You can't put your finger in there and do anything with that because you've actually fused it into one layer.
Correct.
Like you said, it's done on the sides, and then it's also done, what you showed me earlier was there's like cores that go down through. So the whole target is welded into one piece, right?
That's correct. And what's neat about that is the fact that it's got them both interiorly and exteriorly. I think if I pull these back, you can actually see the welded ports that we have going down through the interior of the target. So whenever you take an arrow, for instance here, we've got an arrow that's got a broad head on it. So whenever you shoot into this welded face, it's a clean shot and pull out every time. So it significantly reduces the amount of chunking and slivering.
So it's just the pieces stay together because they've been welded into one. Now what happens when you do that same thing with the looser layers like this one has?
So the added benefit to having the welded technology is you reduce that chunking and slivering. So if you shoot into here, you can see that you're doing a lot more damage to the layer.
Yeah, and pieces are actually coming out here, this like that. So this one stays together for longer.
Much better. So you can see as you keep going in and out of the same hole, the amount of chunking and slivering is minimal compared to an open layered target design.
Right. Now the other thing you were telling me is that like on this target you can shoot broadheads at all the sides, right?
So what we recommend on this, because it does have a high impact graphic wrap with a carry handle on it, so we recommend to shoot the sides with field points. It'd be the same as this. As you can see down here, it actually says shoot with this side with field points only. That's what we recommend too. You can shoot broadheads into here, but it will wear out the use of your wrap.
Right, so
which isn't a big deal.
If you didn't need the handle of the wrap anymore, you'd be fine to do that.
It would still be one solid block together. So
Great. So maybe what we could do is we were thinking, let's go ahead and take the wrap off, and I'm just going to go ahead and come around, and we'll just cut this off with the broadhead. And we can show everyone the real difference here. The other thing with these targets is you've got to keep this wrap on, right?
Yeah, once you take that wrap off,
as you can see,
the target
the target will come apart. Basically, this target's done now because the wrap's off.
Yep.
Now, let's go ahead and bring this one around. We'll do the same thing with this one. I'll just zip that off the same way. And what's kind of neat about these is that's still one piece.
Yeah, you can pick it up and drop it.
Yeah, like these layers aren't going to blow all over your yard.
You still can't separate any of this on this target.
Now, what you were showing me before is you actually can see it better now. So this has all been heat welded from top to bottom, and then all four sides the same way, right?
All four sides, that's correct.
So these are all solid layers put together. So like if you go to retail, you might look at a bunch of different layered targets and not realize that there's a really big difference between the Delta McKenzie, and that's our patented process, and the other layered targets that you see there.
Yep. So there's no straps or bands needed to put this target together. The other thing, whenever you look at some of these, you mentioned having all four sides of ours layered in the top construction. This is all foam. This is strictly foam. Another thing that in order to help level these out, there's actually other structural pieces of the target that go into this that could hurt the integrity of your arrow. So there is not one thing that you need to worry about.
Yeah, you could you could hit that wood or something and maybe damage your arrow.
Yep.
With ours it's all foam. The Delta McKenzie targets don't need any of that plywood or anything that they've got on some of these other ones.
That's correct.
And then the other thing is, if you do shoot the sides and you wear out your wrap, it's not going to come apart like this. It's going to stay together, and you can continue to still use it.
Yeah, you can shoot and shoot and shoot until you've got it so shot up that you can't do anything else.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. It's good. I didn't know all that detail about these targets, and it's good to know. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.